Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about a little conversation that takes place in John chapter 3 between Jesus and Nicodemus. And this conversation has probably become the most well-known conversation in this gospel, where Jesus says to Nicodemus, "You must be born again to see the kingdom." So when we think about the kingdom, we often think that Jesus is talking about like salvation or something in the afterlife, like you must be born again and then you'll see heaven or something in the afterlife. Now remember, Jesus said to the Pharisees, the kingdom is within you. Okay, so the kingdom has always been here. It's in every single person. It's deep within us. It is the Imago Dei, the immortal diamond, the Christ life inside every one of us that wants to find expression. Okay, so Jesus says you must be born again to see the kingdom operative in your life. So what does it mean to be born again? Well, the word again in Greek is anuthen, and in Aramaic it's minderish, and they both mean the same thing. It means you must be born from the beginning, from the very first. Okay, and it's basically bringing us back to an origin far before our earthly birth. It's saying that you came out of the primordial beginning, from the very life of God. It says that Jesus is the light of life that lights every single person that comes into this world. And in order to see the kingdom operative in your life, you need to go back to the very first and see that you come out of this divine life, that you, long before you were ever lost in Adam and identified with Adam, you were born in the image of Christ, and that you must go back. There's actually Jewish mystics used to meditate and kind of recreate this experience when they would meditate on when the earth came into existence, when the whole universe came into existence and spirit was breathed into matter. They used to meditate on that to see themselves coming out of the divine light, to know who they really were. And so Jesus said to Nicodemus, you must be born of water and spirit to see the kingdom, to enter the kingdom. And he's actually giving a picture of when Genesis, when the creation story was actually, again, spirit breathed into matter. And he's saying that, Nicodemus, you must see that you came back from something far before your earthly lineage, that you came back long before all of that. When the cosmos was first born into existence, you came out of the divine light, and you must see this in order to see the kingdom, to see the divine image operative in your life. You're not lost in sin. You're not a sinner. You come from the divine light, and you must see this in order for the kingdom to be operative in your life. And that's actually what he's saying to Nicodemus. And so when we see this, what is the born again experience? Because a lot of people, including myself, have had this like radical experience. And basically what is happening is we're experiencing adoption. Now, again, the way that we might look in adoption from our own earthly perspective is that we were outside of the family, and then we did something in order, like some type of exchange, and then we came inside of the family. But that's actually not the Greek word hoithesia. Adoption actually means that we were always in the family, and now we're coming into public recognition, almost like a bar mitzvah. We're coming into our inheritance, our full sonship, our full identification as being sons and daughters of the Most High. And that's when we start feeling and seeing the Imago Dei, the kingdom within, become operative in our life. And this is really why its ontology is so important. Jesus came to show us a reality that was true about us all along, and that we had lost track of with our Adam minds falling and running away, and running away from God and identifying with sin and all of this stuff. Jesus came to redeem the image of God in human form, and he came to show us our face, and to basically take that old Adamic self and bury it in the ground and raise something up brand new, a kainos creation. And it tells us to look at Jesus's face as in a mirror in order to see the kingdom of God operative in our lives. He is reflecting who we really are ontologically. And this is like, ontology is so important, which is the study of being. It's so important to see that we are not these dirty sinners. We are not these lost people that are outside of the family of God. We need to come into our full sonship, our full adoption, our recognition point as sons and daughters, that we are made in the divine Imago Dei, that we are good, that innocence is our original existence, and that we can express that when we start seeing it. And so the objective reality of being born from the very beginning, the fact that we all come from the divine light, when we start seeing that objectively, is when we start experiencing the release of the kingdom. The Christ life becomes operative in our life, and we awaken to our sonship and manifest what was true all along. And then we start kind of finding the kingdom being operative in our lives, the Christ life being operative in our lives. And so that's kind of what Jesus is talking about with Nicodemus. Something that's true about you all along is that you were born from the very beginning. And to, no matter what you've experienced, no matter what your circumstances are when you come into this world, good or bad, in your upbringing, to see something that is true about you even long before that you come from the very beginning, from the very first, the light that we all come out of, that the light that lights every single person that comes into the world. And we experience the adoption, we experience our full disclosure as sons and daughters of the Most High, and we express the kingdom from within. God bless.